Shalom. Shalom from Israel. Let us talk today about a weekly portion from the fifth book of the Torah, Devarim, Deuteronomy. Please let us open this book in chapter 22. Excuse me, and let us read the verses 6 and 7. We have here a very special commandment in the Torah, and let us see what do we learn from this commandment. We read in verse 6, in case that by chance you happen to see a nest of a bird. In other words, you are on the way, somewhere in the woods or on a field, and by chance, it was not planned, you are not a hunter on the way who deliberately looks for animals in order to catch them. No. On your way, by chance, it happens that you see a nest of a bird, either on the ground or on a tree. And you see that the mother bird is sitting on the young, on the little chicks, or on eggs. The commandment says in verse 6, you should not take the mother who sits on her young or on the eggs. You should not take her. And then verse 7 explains explicitly, you should send her away. Away you should send her, the mother, and then you may take the young, the little chicks, by the way, or the eggs, and by doing so, that will be good for you, that you will have a long life. Let us see what is so special about this commandment. First of all, let us describe the situation. A person goes, for some reason, through a big field, but nobody else is around. Or he walks on a path through the woods, through a forest. Nobody is around, so he's on his own. And then, by chance, he observes a nest, let us say on the ground, and he sees a mother bird sitting on the eggs or on the young. He is actually hungry, and he would like to take either the mother or the eggs in order to eat. The commandment of the Torah says, you should not take the mother. And then the emphasis in the Hebrew Bible, it says twice, you should send her away. Away you should send her. I know, in most of the English translations, you will not find that the translators said it twice. You should send her away. Away you should send her. But please have a look at the Hebrew original. God says in the commandment he formulated in the book of Deuteronomy, twice you should send her away. So naturally, there are a number of questions that the sages and the scholars of the Hebrew Bible are trying to understand. They pose a number of questions and then they try to answer. First of all, if this happens when a person is alone, on his own, nobody, no person can see what he's doing. And it is only one bird that is on one nest somewhere. One may think that it is not such an important commandment. Well, first of all, we should learn not to rush to conclusions, especially not to rush into a conclusion that a commandment is perhaps less important than other commandments. In a few minutes we will see why it is better not to rush into conclusions. But let us first of all ask the question, why does the commandment say twice that you have to send the mother bird away? Is it not enough to say, send the mother bird away? I mean, if a person is a person of faith and he is observing the commandments of the Lord, is it not enough to tell him once to do it? Why does the Torah says twice? This is not a spelling mistake. It is not a printing mistake that it says it twice in Hebrew. May I say in brackets, it is rather a mistake that in the translations there is only one mention of the commandment to send the mother bird away. So let us understand what the sages say, that there are two major reasons why the Torah says twice to do it. First of all, the first reason everyone can understand. Imagine for yourself, you are on the way, you are in the wood, such a small path, you see by chance this nest, you see by chance the mother bird sitting on the eggs, and you want to take the eggs, and you know you are told to send the mother bird away. So what would happen? You would send her away. You wave your hands or make some noise, and she will fly away. But what will happen 1 minute later? Instinctively, of course, the mother bird would try to come back and protect the eggs or to protect her youngs. So it is important to mention to do it twice, so that everyone knows it is not enough that you have done it once. If necessary, you have to do it twice. If necessary, even more. The two mentions are enough to let us understand that you have to take care of it, that the mother bird is driven away. First reason is to teach us, to educate us, not to be cruel, because it would be cruel for a mother bird to see that her eggs or her little chicks are taken away. So this aspect is quite easy to understand and to grasp it, that this commandment tries to educate us to do it. But there is more to it. Imagine, what does this commandment teach us about creation? We know that we have many things in the world that enable us to exist. We have air to breathe, we have water to drink, and we have food, vegetation, and also some animals. But we are called to preserve the creation. Think about it. If you send the mother bird away and you take the 2 eggs you found in the nest, the mother bird lives, goes on, she may have eggs later on again. In other words, the chance for creation to be preserved is taken care of. And then the sages of Israel tell us one more aspect, which is wonderful in itself. Imagine a person, an Israelite, a person from the people of Israel, is alone. No person sees what he's doing, but he obeys and abides by the commandment by God. He signals by doing so, even though no person can see and give him a compliment for not being cruel. No, he does not do it for other persons to commend him, no. But he indirectly indicates and signals to the Lord, you see, first of all, I keep your commandment. Secondly, I am merciful to this seemingly not important mother bird, but I exercise restraint. By this, the sages say, we signal to the Lord, may he too please be merciful and enable the children of Israel to return to their ancient homeland, to return to their nest. By the way, the nest that he, the Lord, gave the children of Israel. So we see here that, first of all, we should not rush into conclusions to think that maybe a commandment is not that important. And we should not draw that false conclusion just because nobody can see the person whether he exercises this restraint, whether he follows the commandment or not. This is not the actual argument that is important. Important is, first of all, to follow the commandment, and secondly, to understand that we preserve creation, and hopefully we signal, a little signal to the Lord, may he also exercise mercy and enable his people, the children of Israel, to return to their nest, to the ancient homeland, to Zion, to Jerusalem. Thank you very much for your patience, and I send you greetings from the land of the Bible, from Israel. Thank you very much, and Shalom.